We are officially halfway through 2024. The year is flying by, but don't panic. This is a really great time for you to do a mid-year review/reset and look at where you are with your goals, look at what you might need to tweak, look at what you've already accomplished already, and look at what you want to do with the next half of the year. So are you ready to do a reset and review with me? Good. Let's go. Hi guys, my name is Serena. Welcome to my channel. I love to talk about all things self-care, hair care, and just getting organized. So if that's what you are looking for, you are in the right place. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Why don't you hit that subscribe button? We're gonna jump straight into it now. Halfway through 2024, and I literally can't believe it. It's crazy. But I think it's good because you know what, it just reminds us that time doesn't wait for any man or woman. It keeps on moving, so we have to keep on moving. And halfway through the year is a really great time to just look back over the first part of the year 2024 and see how you've been doing with your goals, see if you need to set new goals, see if some goals are no longer relevant, etc, etc, etc. It's really good to do a review and a reset because you need to and you want to keep your major important goals at the forefront of your mind, and you want to make sure that you are on track with those goals. Now, you could have written those goals at the end of 2023 like I did, or you could have written them at the beginning of 2024. It doesn't matter. What is important is that you do have goals, you do have things that you are working towards, working to improve, working to develop, and working to just be an all better rounded human being that's getting through life and living out your purpose in life. It is also a great time to see how your self-care journey is going, to review that and to see if there's anything that you need to implement, anything that you need to keep on doing, anything that you need to stop doing. So we are just going to jump straight in. So what I'm going to say to you is grab a pen, grab your notebook, grab the book or the phone or the document or wherever you put your goals for 2024, have that next to you as well. And let's get ready to review, let's get ready to write down things, let's get ready to plan for the next 6 months, let's get ready to tweak, and let's get ready to keeping you on the path to achieving your goals. So the first thing that we're going to start with is gratitude. We're going to start with just taking some time to sit in some of the happy moments that you've had, some of the things that you are grateful for, some of the things that you are thankful for, some of the things that you are really proud of, no matter how big or small. They may not even have been on your goal list, but if there are certain things that you just want to sit in and say, oh, actually, I'm really grateful for that. The first half of the year has been really sweet because of. Let's take a moment to write those things down and just reflect and read them out loud to yourself. So this is a really great place to pause the video and make a list of about 10 things that you are really grateful for. So good memories, good experiences, serendipity highlights, so things that kind of came about by chance or by accident that you weren't expecting, basically. Anything that you are thankful for or proud of, now is the time to pause the video, write that down, and just reflect on it and just give thanks. Okay, great. I hope you are smiling after you've been able to reflect on what you're grateful for. I'm definitely smiling. I'm definitely smiling. It's always good to start with gratitude. It's always good to start with gratitude because there's so many things in life to be thankful for, and often we don't take the time out to reflect on just the good memories and the good times. They don't even necessarily have to be goals, but just good things. So now we've done that. Now we're going to look at your goals. So the goals that you set at the end of 2023 or the beginning of 2024. Let's have a look at what you have achieved so far within the first 6 months of this year. So again, I want you to take a moment. You can pause the video for this again and have a look at your goals list and go through it. The big goals, the small goals, whatever size goals, have a look and see what you have already achieved. Okay, great. Now, firstly, I want to say well done and congratulations for all the goals that you have achieved so far. And I want to encourage you to keep on going because you have seen now that you can achieve. It's possible to achieve your goals and you are still on track. Were there any goals that you saw that maybe weren't relevant anymore? Were there any goals that actually you think, I thought I would be able to achieve it by now, but it's taking a bit longer, so you need to tweak and maybe add or attribute a little bit more time to those goals? Were there any goals you need to change? Are there any goals that you need to add based on what you've already achieved and what you've seen and what you've looked over? Is there anything else that you need to add? I want you to ask yourself those questions and then look at your goals again and apply. Okay, I need to change this. So I thought I would have achieved this in 6 months, but actually I think it's going to take 9 months, or I think it's going to take the whole year. Actually, this was relevant at the beginning of the year, but actually it's not relevant now, so I can take that off. But actually, while I'm sitting in this space now, I realize that I should have made a goal for this, so I'm going to add it on. Take the time now to add and tweak anything that you need to add or tweak for the rest of the year. So for the rest of the 6 months from June to December, what is it that you want to achieve? Have some things stayed the same in terms of your goals and you're on track? Do some things need to be taken off? Do some things need to be added? Do some things need to be adjusted? Take the time to do that now. Okay, great. Now, secondly, what I want you to do is think about anything major that's coming up in the next 6 months of the year. So that could be a birthday, that could be a wedding, that could be you're about to give birth, that could be you working on a dissertation, that could be you changing job, that could be you planning to travel. Anything major that you know is in the calendar or you're expecting to do in the next 6 months, I want you to write those things down, because you have to take into account the time and the energy and the focus and attention that those things will need, or that those things will take away from your main goal. And so you can account for that and attribute and change around time depending on what the need is based on the big events that are to come. This is really important because sometimes we set goals and we forget to look at our calendar for the year, and we forget what's coming up. And then we get really cross with ourselves or disappointed when we haven't achieved our goals. But actually, there were several major things that were really important and needed our time and energy. And if we had taken those things into account and worked around and added more time, we probably would have hit our goals, or we probably would have realized that we needed a little bit longer. So I want you to think between June and December, what's coming up? What's in the calendar? What are you expecting? What are you preempting that may affect how long you're going to give yourself for a goal, or whether you're going to be able to achieve a goal, or whether a goal is realistic at this point of time in your life? So take a moment to think about that and write all those things down as well. Okay, great. Now, next, I want you to think about the major themes that you want to focus on for the rest of the year. Is it being organized? Is it having fun? Is it trying new things? Because you're going to attach those themes to the different goals to make sure that the plan that you have for your goals hit those themes as well. Because it's not just about achieving a goal. Like I said, it's not just about saying I want to make more money, or I don't know, I want to lose weight. It's about having an enriched life while fulfilling your goals, or as part of fulfilling your goals. Are you happy? Are you expecting to be happy? Are you thinking about your happiness and your joy? Are you thinking about your mental and your physical well-being? Or are you just writing down the same goals that you write down everywhere, or goals that you think you should be writing down? So think about the main themes that you want to focus on. I know for me personally, definitely being more organized is a massive theme. I've got so many things planned this year or for the rest of the year, and if I'm not organized, I know it's going to be my downfall. So what are the main themes that you need to focus on to make sure that they are in line and in keeping with you reaching your goals? So take a moment to think about that, and then we'll come back to the next point. Okay, great. You're doing great, by the way. You're doing great. Stay with me. We're not too far off the end. You are doing great. Now, next, I want you to consider what you have to get done by the end of this year. So these big stellar goals, I'm going to call them, the major ones that you know, look, I need to finish this by the end of this year. So think of things like a dissertation. So if you're studying and you know it needs to be submitted at a certain point, an application, if it's to do with health, going through some sort of training or going to see a nutritionist or something like that. What are the main goals that you know by the end of this year, I have to finish those? Rearrange your goals and put those at the top of your list, bearing in mind your theme, so the theme for the rest of the year, so that you know that those are the main goals that you're going to work on, and those ones have to be completed. I would even suggest to you putting them on your wall somewhere, or putting them on your phone, or somewhere where you're going to see them, and putting that plan in action, so that you know, even if I don't complete all the other little goals I have, these ones definitely need to get completed. And make sure you prioritize and you think about what you need to do in your life to be able to hit those goals by December 2024. So at this point, I think it's good to remind you that when you are creating goals or reviewing goals, make sure they are specific and they are timely and they are realistic. Make sure that you've broken them down into stages by creating an action plan so that you know you can achieve the goals because you know which step to take. Sometimes we can sabotage ourselves by not being specific and then feeling really upset because we don't achieve the goals, when really all we needed to do was be a bit more specific and put a plan of action in place so that we give ourselves the best chance of reaching our goals. So for example, say it was you want to lose weight in the next 6 months of the year. That in itself is just a statement, I want to lose weight. To make it more specific, you would say, I want to lose X amount of pounds by December 2024. So then now you've got a number and you've got a timeline. Then now you can break it down further and say, if I want to lose, I don't know, let's just say 14 pounds. Let's say I want to lose 14 pounds. How many pounds do I need to lose each month, so in the next 6 months, to get me closer to that goal? What do I need to do then? So what exercise do I need to start doing? What foods do I need to start eating? What foods do I need to cut out? How can I improve my sleep? Think different things like that, but you've made it specific. Instead of just saying a statement, I'd like to lose weight by the end of the year, you've actually now created a goal by saying, I want to lose X amount in X time, and then you begin to create an action plan. So when you are creating your goals, when you're reviewing your goals, make sure they are very specific because it puts you in such a strong position to be able to achieve them. I will also say it's also a really good time mid-year to do a declutter. I try and do declutters sort of each month personally because things just pile up. But it's a really good time at the middle of the year to just declutter and clear your space and rearrange things so that again you're putting yourself in a good position to be able to achieve your goals, because all those things play a part in your motivation, how organized you are, and how realistic it will be for you to actually achieve your goals. So think about decluttering and reorganizing your space because that's going to really help you to achieve your goals. Okay, next up, I want you to focus on some of the challenges that you've had for the past 6 months. So what's been difficult? What has blocked you? What has been an obstacle? What has slowed you down? What has stopped you in your track? Think about all those challenges and then write them down. And then also think about what you could have done to have avoided them, or what you may need to do if some challenges like that or the same challenges come up again, because you want to be prepared. Life is predictable yet not predictable, if that makes sense. So some things you're like, oh, I knew this was going to happen, or obviously this is going to happen, and other things is like, what? How on earth did this happen? And it's about how we react. It's about how we prepare ourselves for the unexpected, for the roadblocks, for the barriers, for the booby traps, for all those things, so that as we want to move forward, we can maneuver, because we will all experience setbacks. Things will not always go to plan. That's just life. That's why I say sometimes life is predictable in that sense. But what we can do is prepare our mind and prepare things that we have around us. So when eventualities come up, we're able to maneuver and we're able to keep moving forward. So I want you to think about the challenges that you faced. Think about how you got through them, or how you are getting through them, or what support you need to get through them. And think about the next 6 months of the year, and should those challenges arise again, or similar challenges, what are you going to do, or what do you need to do to be able to maneuver through those? Now, next time, I want you to think about your self-care routine. Self-care is an integral part of your success, because if you're not looking after yourself properly, you're not going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve, because you're not in the right headspace, you're not in the right physical space, you don't have the right connections, etc., etc. Okay? So I want you to think about your self-care for the next 6 months. I want you to think about each of the 9 categories of self-care. And what I want you to do is, again, you're going to pause the video and you're going to write a sentence for each of those categories about how you want your self-care journey to be for those categories for the rest of 2024. So for example, if it's physical health, you could say, I'm going to prioritize my sleep. I know that's something I need to do because I constantly get to bed later than I should, and I'm usually knackered in the morning and have so many things to do throughout the day. So I know for physical, I would put, I'm going to prioritize my sleep. So I want you to think of, what would you put for each of the one example for each of the 9 categories of self-care, and I want you to work that into your goals because it's so important, and it's going to help you to sustain good health so that you can achieve your goals. So take a moment, pause the video, have a look at the 9 categories of self-care and write a sentence for each one in terms of what your goals are between now and the end of 2024. Now, although I'm banging on about goals and you've got to set goals and you've got to achieve goals, I must say you have to also pace yourself. Do not overwhelm yourself or overload yourself with too many goals, because when you have too many goals, it can dilute your focus so that you're not able to give 100% to anything, or worse, you reach burnout. Now, if you've reached burnout before, you know what I'm talking about. I have definitely reached burnout, and you go from production to zero. Basically, there's no in between, and then you have to take time out to recover, to reflect, to bolster your self-care, to look after yourself, to get back where you need to get. So don't give yourself too many goals. As I said before, be realistic about what you can achieve and what is achievable, and then make sure you focus on those and put all your energy on those. And once you've achieved them, then you'll find you can add more goals to the list. But do not overburden and overload yourself with too many goals. And finally, I want you to just map out a skeleton of a schedule for the rest of the year. So in June, I want to focus on this. In July, I want to focus on this. In August, I want to focus on this, etc., etc. So that you can start to have real focus and purpose again for the rest of the year. Now, of course, you tweak this weekly, even daily, sometimes you tweak this. But it's always good to have a 6-month plan that you can work towards and move around, rather than having nothing, because when you have nothing, you don't really have any direction, and you try to do this and then you remember you have to do that, and oh, I've got to do this, and you end up doing very little of the things that you need to do. So think about creating a schedule, a rough schedule that you're going to work on, but for the next 6 months, so that you're putting yourself again in a really good position to be able to achieve your goals. And so we've come to the end, and I want to just end with gratitude again. And I want you to just again reflect on your proud moments of the first half of 2024 so far. What have you achieved? What are you proud of? And why are you proud? And give yourself a pat on the back. I'm going to share a couple with you. One of my personal goals, which is a small thing, but actually really makes me feel good, is looking after my nails. My nails were in quite a bad state last year, and sometimes I would get them done in terms of like a manicure. Sometimes I wouldn't. And I was determined this year to make sure that I looked after them better. And I'm really proud to say 6 months into the year, I've been looking after them really well. I've made sure I've cut them, I made sure I filed them, make sure I put either some clear nail varnish or a little bit of glitter sometimes, or some colour. And I'm really enjoying that. It's actually quite therapeutic for me, and I enjoy that time by myself where I can just do my nails. And it just makes me feel happy when I look down and I see my nails are looking nice. I smile, you know. And that was a goal for me, and I'm achieving that goal, you know, and it's still relevant, and I will still work towards that till the end of the year. And my final goal that I think I would want to reflect on and say that I'm proud of is actually my YouTube channel. I took the leap and had the courage this year, finally, to start making regular content and posting more regularly, and deciding to just be laser focused on YouTube. And already I'm seeing the results. I'm getting into a rhythm. I'm learning things. I'm enjoying it. My following has grown. I hit, I think, 60 followers the other day. And I tell you no lie, I had tears in my eyes. I was like, my gosh, because I've had a channel for like 7 years, but I haven't been consistent with it. And so I didn't grow. And so in a few weeks of me just posting regularly and then hitting 60 after years was so emotional for me. So thank you guys. Thank you to you that subscribed. I honestly really, really appreciate it. You don't understand. My goal is by the end of this year to hit 100 subscribers. Now I know some people might be like, oh, 100's not a lot, but I struggled to even get to 60. So for me, if I got to 100, that would be amazing. And I just want to build on that. But I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and I appreciate your feedback and your comments and your suggestions because it helps me to grow. What are some of your goals that you're really proud of? Let's end with that. Let's go back over the gratitude list and just end with more gratitude reflection. Look at how you're doing and give yourself a pat on the back and be proud of your progress so far, and keep moving forward, because by the end of this year, you're going to achieve more goals than you realize. So there you go. I really hope that this has been useful. I want to encourage you that you are on the right track. You just need to keep going. You just need to get your head down, get organized or stay organized, and keep working towards your goals, because you're going to make it. You really will. You really will. If you carry on with your discipline and your tenacity, you will make it. Just keep going. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions, leave them below, and I will see you in the next video. Take care for now. Stay blessed. Bye.